what a woodchuck could give a woodchuck a chuck wood. Check. Let me tell you what I'm going to do for us, okay? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do for us. As soon as the charity gods drop their beloved financial, beautiful spreading of the wealth amongst us poor folk, you know what I'm going to do for us? You want to know what I'm going to do for us?
What you going to do?
I'm going to buy us some brand new chairs, and they're going to be the most comfortable chairs you've ever sat in.
This chair is comfortable.
They're going to be the most comfortable chairs. They're called Himimoso. They're going to be the most comfortable chairs
this chair is comfortable.
Oh no, man! You don't know a good chair you don't know what I'm talking about, man. There's chairs out there that make you feel like you need to sit down in life and just take it easy. Plenty of chairs out there, but not all of them are good. Everybody.
Here's something for y'all to think about. There's plenty of chairs out there, but not all of them are comfortable. Just go ahead and think about that. Mull that over.
If something doesn't sit well with you,
that metaphor could be taken
change up the chair.
Any and everywhere. There's a lot of chairs out there. Not all of them are comfortable.
I have to put this roll of t-shirt in my back every time we sit here.
I got back support on that chair. You could take it and use it if you want.
Yeah. Sometimes you get a broken chair and you just got to deal with what you got.
Here's something else, since we don't use any type of script or rehearsed material. Anyone out there proclaiming that they know everything and they pretend to know everything, and you know an individual like this who likes to always one-up you without bearing any proof or evidence, just an individual that just thinks they know everything there is about life, every situation that occurs. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, there's one in...
Everyone knows you've met a person that just thinks they know it all.
The person we grew up with. I'm not even going to say his name.
Don't say his name.
But I want to.
Don't say his name. I've got about maybe 3 or 4 people that I can't even talk to anymore because they think they're right about everything. That what they know is flawless. They've been around the world 1,000 times and met 1 billion people and done research that most take 20 years. This person's done the research in 6 months.
Not even. 6 weeks.
6 weeks. Stay away from people who proclaim they know it all. They're a virus. It's a sickness. You cannot know everything. You cannot know everyone's intentions. You cannot know any secret agenda or master plans. You can't know what your doctor's thinking. You can't know what your lawyer's thinking, what your friends are truly thinking.
You just know what you're given and what's at face value. And then you put your own interpretations on it and you think that's the answer. You think your answer is the almighty. You think it just trumps everybody else's answers or thought processes.
And it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Here's the rant of the day. Are you ready for this? Of course you are, because you're here. And you know we're getting ready to handle
monkey business. Let me see that.
If you can't see the shirt.
Let me see. Let me just look at it. Yeah, it's monkey business.
Dressed in the casual. Look at this. Can you see
what does it say on the bottom? I can't even see what it says on the bottom.
As usual.
Monkey business as usual.
Now let me tell you something, people. not only can you help these individuals who proclaim they know everything,
If they want help.
But somehow you can't get rid of them.
Yeah, something about you is in reserve to say, hey, you know what? You ain't got the answers.
And why do you hold on to these people's phone numbers and still willing to give some sort of conversation to these people?
Why do you subject yourselves to this shit, knowing every time that person comes around, you know he's full of shit or she?
Here's another thing. If you have an opinion based on music, if you have an opinion based on politics, based on religion, food products, lifestyle, money, the way a city should be ran,
The way birds operate,
the way sharks eat other fish.
the way shit falls from a giraffe's ass.
If you have an opinion based on these things, they are your opinion and your opinion alone. It is not
Fact. Unless you give us, the data. But as Bicky says, what does Bicky say? He says, do we truly know anything? Absolute certainty is, I know nothing with absolute certainty.
I'm with Bicky on this shit.
I know nothing. I only know what's at face value. I don't even know if the shit that I read is true because I haven't done the work.
Sometimes it's nice not to know things and then speak about it, and then anyone who knows something of what you're saying can go, oh, I know this subject well. I think you're wrong here and here because I've studied this subject. Then one could say, oh, okay, well, shit, educate me.
Right.
Teach me.
Yes.
Maybe I've said something wrong. Maybe I've said something that was half right. Maybe I said something that was taken out of context. Then you have a person who is humble enough to go, yeah, let me help you out and let me help you understand where your ways went wrong.
Yeah.
Let's make this fun and educational for you. Then anybody would receive that as, oh, okay.
It's
Now,
a leg up.
It's a leg up. Now, do you want to take that person's word 100%?
No.
Probably not. But if it fancies your tickling
Or tickles your fancy.
and it somehow makes you feel like it's factual information,
That's non-biased.
then maybe you go with it.
And why not?
Maybe you don't.
And why not?
If I said to you 90s alternative music sucked in every aspect, how many people out there would just go, fuck you, you're an idiot. There's a lot of people out there that will do that.
I mean, like just like that, or
Just like that. Oh, this guy's a fucking idiot. Yeah. But
extreme.
that's my proof in the pudding. No one can sit there and just recognize it as that's that individual's opinion. It should not hurt your feelings. It should not make you upset. Shit. And if it's that disturbing, it should make you want to seek knowledge or entertainment or friendship elsewhere. That's what that should do. If I say all hip hop music sucks,
Whoa.
all of it,
Every last portion
every
of
last portion
it. Love it. In the entirety of hip-hopadom, it all sucks.
Nobody should lose a subscriber over it.
Oh, God. It's maddening to say that.
When I was listening to the Synth Samurai show, he was going on about AI, and sometimes when I watch the Synth Samurai, I'm just mesmerized by the entertainment. And him as an entertainer is fucking phenomenal. So when he's protecting someone, or he likes something, or
he poses his opinion on something or someone,
about AI or about beat makers, we won't say names, he loses 30 subscribers.
Why?
Why?
Because of his opinion.
Because of something he said didn't go with something someone thought higher of him to believe in.
Let me, and I want to know this.
Oh man, I'm gonna take away my subscription.
And I want to know this.
Even though you gave me 3 years of good work.
Those 30 people, and I have to know this, when someone in their life outside of the Sim Samurai channel, when something and someone in their life does not meet their agenda or their opinions, do they just walk out on the conversation and leave their friends or their family because they think otherwise? Who does that? Who really cares out there? Seriously, who really cares if someone does not believe in your agenda? That motherfucker didn't wish me happy birthday. You're not my friend. Who's that far gone? 30 subscribers are that far gone. For Samurai Show, they are.
It's funny. Tone Smith said, I didn't like SS stuff. Once I realized it was kayfabe, I don't know what the fuck that is, kayfabe, I got into it. And maybe that's what it is too. Once you realize you're watching something that's just offering entertainment, and you look beyond that and you start implementing your own ideas, I think that's where we go wrong as a human society. I think a lot of us out there need to recognize our opinions aren't fact, and our opinions are ours, and we're not going to project that onto someone else. So what? You don't understand why someone else doesn't believe the way you do. So what? That's what makes us free.
And individuals.
Morning Kent, Scotty,
Spongellis,
Steve Elbows,
Groove Chemist,
Tone Smith,
Half God, Half Beast,
Uncle Chrome,
Probes, Crease Head,
Thomas Young, Doommunga,
Gracie,
Viral Beats,
Keithan Waterford,
Half God, Half Beast.
I already said that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But it's okay. You want to know why?
Why?
Because I don't care that you say it again. I don't care. I don't hold silly grudges like that.
Right.
Steve Elbows is in the building.
Steve, let me know if you're camping in the background. I can't see the computer. You're known to camp out. Scotty, let me know if you guys are jumping in. Gracie, let me know if you're jumping in too.
Has anyone ever stood up to somebody like that? I would love to know what that story and outcome was like. You ever stood up to a person who was so opinionated and just thought everything out of his or her mouth was 100% fact? That their fat ass ego is that big where they can't see another person's perspective. How did you deal with that shit?
Right.
How would you deal with that? Do you have the balls to deal with it, or will you just let that shit slide and go, it's just Johnny?
Crazy Rabbit said, you didn't say my name, unsubscribe.
You see what I'm saying? We already lost one.
That's how the shit happens.
What the hell?
What type of person looks at another person and goes, you're not living the life I want you to live? They're telling strangers this. You're not living the correct life. How dare you be what you want to be? I don't care if it's one life to live. I was taught this is who we are, and we should follow the same guidelines no matter what.
And because you're not who you say you are and you changed on me, I'm going to unsubscribe from your channel. I mean, all for the better, right? Because that person should have probably never been there anyways, or they were there on their own false pretenses, thinking they had power or sway because they subscribed to someone's channel. The channel has always been about the person who produces the channel, the person who made the channel. It's not about the subscribers. It's not about how many people you have in chat. It's about the person that's pushing content out. Either you're on board with what the person is saying, or you can just let bygones be bygones and just happily disagree but still support the person, or you don't entertain shit because you're that far gone.
Gracie says, I used to have a friend who would say, I don't know everything, but I'm never wrong. Partly in jest, but to be honest, he seldom spoke unless he was on solid and certain ground. You got to admire someone like that.
And Scotty's right. The world is full of opinionated twats. And don't get us wrong. We all have our opinions, and we all can look at someone else's shit and go, well, I wouldn't do that, or I don't like that. But what makes us different from the 30 individuals that would pull their subscriptions is we don't give a shit. It does not affect our day-to-day lives.
That's crazy, Grace. You haven't seen them in years? Tone Smith says, kind of wish more people were that way, Grace.
I agree. I agree with Tone Smith.
Hey, Prometheus. Kissing the machines. Hello.
Hello.
Kent says, I'm always saying that crosses the line because if everything you say is safe or to reflect the room, it's just noise with no value. Uncle Chrome says subs are a joke. And I mean, Chrome's not lying. Like, some days you come to symptoms of reality. Now, we're on every day for a year, okay? We don't expect everyone to be here.
Or everyone to dig what we do.
We're on for a year every day. You're not going to miss much. It's okay if you're not here every day. I don't care if there's just 9 people in the chat watching.
I don't care if it's just this guy and myself.
I could care less. This whole experience, this 1-year journey has taught me so much about social media. A lot of it I probably won't disclose until after the year, but it's taught me so much about social media and where I should lie my priorities and my concerns and my love and my passion, and how much energy does it take to really put into all of this YouTube factor.
Yes, trying to stay creative, trying to keep a good show, trying to come up with musical melodies, trying.
But then there's, like what Chrome said, there's some subscribers who'll subscribe to you because you may have hit on one thing that they believed in, and I'm going to subscribe because they're my people. But the moment you express yourself in another way, or you love something else just as much, or there's different agendas you can appreciate talking about, or there's a certain lifestyle that you walk, one of those things will be out of line
with someone.
The same thing that brought them in is the same thing that takes them out. It's one thing that brings you in, and it's one thing that takes you out.
You know, the better part is for Sammy, and I feel bad that Samurai was frustrated that he lost 30 subscribers. I am different from Samurai. I could give a fuck about those 30 subscribers because they don't respond to me when my day goes to shit, or if I'm struggling with mental health issues, or if my brother's fucking mouth hurts, or fucking horses aren't in abundance. They ain't there to help us. They're there to support, but even if the support is false, fuck off. Now, I wish I could tell Samurai that. Where those 30 are gone, there's 30,000s to take their place.
Yeah, I don't think he really cares that much.
I mean, it affected him, right? People
you
leaving.
could tell. I mean,
right, because he was on one. I sat and watched him.
But he's not here, so we can't put words in his mouth.
I'm not. I sat and watched him. I seen how he was frustrated through his little deal.
Right.
You got to be a moron not to see that Sammy was frustrated by it. But where those 30 were left, 30,000 are going to take that place. Now that is a YouTube thing. Mm-hmm. That's an algorithm AI thing. To say that there ain't 3, 4, 5 million people that would be into the Synth Samurai show, you'd be crazy, because there's a lot of people that would love that. But these small channels don't get circulation like that. So when you lose 30 people, yeah, it kind of affects you, because you're focusing on building a community, a financial means of showmanship and entertainment.
It's just the energy you put into it.
And to see some of that wiped away, it will affect you.
Right. Just to know that somebody takes a subscription away from you because they were unhappy about one thing. Keith in Watford said, if I lost 30 subscribers, I'd only have one left.
There you go, Keith.
Goddamn, Colonel Sanders.
Perspective.
And I like Keith. Keith is a soft-spoken dude.
And he's just fucking chill. I love Colonel Sanders.
And his favorite color is orange like mine, and I'll never let him forget it.
And I love his spiral staircase when he's off and on the pub. Yeah, I lurk and I watch your staircase.
We lurk a lot.
Apollo said he lost 4 subs.
Apollo. Why? How can Apollo lose 4 subs?
That's what I'm talking about.
Apollo don't say shit to nobody.
And how do you get mad when he playing funk? What, is it not funked up enough for you?
I ain't gonna say the name, but when I was in Apollo's chat when he was live a while ago, it might have been like 2 months ago, and he just got the RC. What was that? Apollo, the voice augmentation. I forgot what it's called. But, Apollo likes to have a couple of drinks when he's jamming and lose himself in his music. But then someone goes in his comment section, one of those know-it-all fucking people, and start asking them technical fucking questions, knowing damn well this man is trying to have fun and ain't got time to answer that shit, but steady trying to embarrass this man. Apollo has never done shit to nobody. You sadly mistaken if you want to go on that man's channel and pick a fucking issue. How could he lose 4 subscribers? Let me tell you, because these people have never invested their time into anything. And they don't appreciate the hard work that a lot of us musicians put out.
Prometheus said he's negative 30 subs. Think that's some shit.
Chrome, put Prometheus's link up there. Why is he negative?
Like Gracie says, subs come and subs go. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? This is the world that we kind of live in today, right? Everybody gets offended by everything. People's feelings get hurt. People's feelings get hurt, and then this is the response you get from people. And it's something so simple. So know that, getting into this social ether, know that. You'll even if you do a million things right, there's always gonna be 30 people that fucking think you're wrong. Over what? Over big-headed ego-ness and opinion. You'll lose a whole friendship because you don't like the other person's opinion. Just think about that. When you're going to be honest with yourself and say, I'm full of shit. I am full of shit, and I need to readjust and self-evaluate. I think the whole world needs to put on a mask of DMT, of gas, and I think everybody needs to go to sleep, inhale a big-ass waft of DMT so they can reflect and look at their ego and look at their bullshit, so they can honestly look at themselves in the mirror and go, oh, man, I'm totally fucked here.
Right.
I didn't know what I was projecting out in the world.
I was talking to my wife about YouTube, and let me know if I'm wrong. Please let me know if I'm wrong, and be honest. If you put your content on YouTube, it's because you want somebody to fucking view it. Am I wrong?
You're right.
Because if you didn't put it on YouTube and you really didn't care if anyone viewed your content, then you would be that person. We wouldn't know you. You won't be on this platform. Maybe you are a music artist and you don't care about YouTube, and your interest is just to consume music. That's always the case. But if you're a music artist and you put your fucking music on YouTube, it's because you want someone to listen to your art.
You know what? Kissing machine. Yeah, see, KTM. It seems to be more and more the thing to have exponential judgments about things. The worst ever, the best ever, etc. Most of the time, things are just okay, and I like that.
Sometimes you get people that are never going to be happy. I don't know how most of you people out there deal with these people. I have no idea. But there are a lot of people in networking that will never be happy. They will always have the answers, and their opinions will always be fact. No matter what. No matter what. So how do we as a community deal with this? How do we handle these people? Do we handle these people? Is that stepping out of our confines to arrange that? Rabbit says ignore them. That's probably always the best bet.
Safeguard yourself. Ignore them. Because if you ignore them, they pick up on it. They go, oh, well, what did I do to deserve me being ignored? Sometimes you ain't even got to tell the dude, you know what? You ain't got all the answers. You talk too much. I'm tired of it. Every conversation that I bring up, you've either done it, experienced it, or you know what's best. Talking to you is no good for me. What if you were honest with someone like that?
Right. Everyone is, SS got me fucking rolling internally. But yeah, I think everybody has it right. Everybody right now is saying ignore it.
Yeah, you ignore that shit. I mean, because you have to. Otherwise, it depends on the situation, right? It depends on the person, on how they come off, where they come off, and when they come off. Now, can you ignore it if you are at like 100 and you are at your wit's end and this person does something or says something flagrant in not the opportune settings, and you lose your cool and you tell him to politely fuck off? I mean, we do have those scenarios. But yes, when you're in a neutral setting, you just ignore that dude. Wipe him he or she from your phone book. Erase the Rolodex. You take the card out of the Rolodex for you old enough. And you crumple that shit up and replace another card that has N on it.
Yeah. Rabbit says the only way you don't ignore it is if in certainty you can change the situation. Kissing the Machine says, Doctor, it hurts when I do this. Well, don't do it then.
Stop doing it.
I think when it comes to my brother and I and the editor, the Merrill Darrell, Mads, Marilyn, 99.9% of the time we ignore it. However, when we're not on air, we talk about it. And sometimes it's hard to bite thy tongue when you see atrocities in the social workings. And I know Kent knows what I mean when I say that, bite my tongue. I know Samurai knows when I say when I bite my tongue. James Dyson knows when I say when I bite my tongue.
Hell, everybody knows to bite your tongue.
But I'm starting to believe now, like, how much longer does one take the high road on reoccurring negative situations? Even if you tell an individual, you're not welcome here, and they keep coming back, what do? Continue to take the high road?
If you tell them to go donate some equipment to charity, you donate your money and time to charity. Stop coming here. Is that what you got to tell them? To kick rocks?
It's in general, Azio Head. You didn't miss much.
Nah, you didn't. But welcome here.
But welcome. We're just going on a rant about people and their opinions and how they think they're fact, and they want you to live to their standards.
What's up, Jack?
I don't know if there's ever going to be a cure to any of this. I really don't know. And our goal will always be to ignore it. Unless we're having conversations like this where we can just let it off our chest and talk about it. Because you don't want to keep holding things in that make you frustrated with no one to talk about, or no one to talk to this, or no one to talk to
about this.
About this.
What the hell is going on over there?
I don't know. I'm doing too much talking.
Monkey business as usual.
So sometimes it's better to look towards community, open up a little bit of dialogue, and see what everyone else would do in this situation.
You know, for those of you who met your girlfriends, your wives, your husbands, however, or the relationship, and you meet and it all went well, right? You found things that you loved together. You found all these commonalities, so to speak. But then as the relationship matures, you find out that some things you don't agree with, and then there's some things they don't agree with about you via them. But you don't relinquish the relationship.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because you love each other and you're willing to let that person believe what they want to believe. If you apply the same shit
some people
to other people.
Some people are saying invite them into the Continental and let's hash it out over the air. I don't know. Sometimes Scott knows a lot about what goes on Monkey Island because he's one of the
Contributing factors.
contributing factors. He has a seat in the kingdom.
He's on the council.
He's on the council. And he knows. Scotty knows. Sometimes, this is what he tells me. Just let the twats come in and use them for their view hours. And it's brilliant. It's brilliant. The wife says, let them come in for the view hours. Don't shush them away. Use them as they try to use us.
But at one point, does that just eat the shit out of you?
It just gets tiring.
Because you know what they're like. You know when Ghostbusters, I don't know if it was 1 or 2, where the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, okay? Right? Remember this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to throw it off topic a little bit. When we were kids and we watched the Ghostbusters, part 1 or 2 with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, I want to say it was 1.
Yeah, it was part 1.
And they blew his fat ass up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fatness all over the downtown streets of New York.
Mm-hmm. Just fat everywhere. It was just disgusting and delicious at the same time.
Did anyone ever wonder what his fat ass tastes like?
I bet it was disgusting and delicious at the same time.
I was always curious. If a little bit got on me, would I not eat it? It got charred. It proton packs hit it.
Steve Elbow says, don't cross the YouTube streams.
Don't cross the streams. How many of you would have blasted and smeared the Stay Puft Fat Marshmallow Man all over the downtown streets or just ignored it?
In a fight, the Marshmallow Man will lose against the Marmite Man.
Now that's true.
This is a fact.
This is true.
Is
there even a Marmite Man?
If there is, he would definitely lose. Okay, let's go off topic from that. We just had to get that ran across. Let's get back to something else that we're concerned with and that we're viewing because we're human, and that's what we do. And it's just my opinion, okay?
And you're going to get my opinion.
For those of you out there who are lurking and don't want to come in the comment section and let us hear your voice in case you get offended by this.
And you want to unsubscribe.
You might want to do it now. There are people in Iran that are like us.
Just like us.
That are musicians.
That are fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters.
They work hard for their living. Life is very, very difficult in that country. There's 1 or 2 people we know from YouTube that live in the country that tell you exactly how hard it is, and they would love a regime change in any way possible. These are people who think like us. They look like us.
They bleed like us.
They probably stink like us. And they're people of their own community who have to behave to their dictatorship. They don't get a say. Their votes never count. Reminds you of different countries? Supposedly the ones that aren't third world? And they're stuck in a rough place. Some people can just, whoever has the money, pack their belongings up and get out of the city. But what about the ones that don't have the money or transportation or can't get out of the city? What about the people that just want to live a quiet life where they're just surrounded by their families? They work hard for what they have.
And it's not even just in Iran, it's in Israel. You have all these people with proclaimed power, and they start all these wars over territory, resources, religious beliefs. In our case, I think while we're getting involved is because of the Vermouth Strait for the passage of fucking goods, whatever we tell ourselves.
Right.
I even heard one statement today on a press conference from a retired military official who was in Afghanistan, and now he's one of the cabinet members, who said, and yes, we have all the sexy guns and equipment. At one point, I just thought, what about killing apparatus or instruments is sexy? Now, I get the whole protection of shit that I don't even know about, but I'm just saying, when did we started calling war sexy or the instruments of war sexy? When those instruments can be known to kill innocent people. Was it sexy then? Was that instrument sexy then? I've never been for war. I've never been about war. It's just not in my wheelhouse.
Here's another thing about people who are suffering from poor leadership that I often think about. I don't encourage you to think about it. I'm just saying for me that I often think about. What happens to those people like us? Do they just go quietly in the night? Is there no one out there who would start a peaceful protest for these people? If it doesn't apply to me and my situation, why should I protest? What's going on in Darfur in the Congo? No one wants to read about that. It's not on the mainstream media. Out of sight, out of mind, no one gives a fuck. Which leads me to this. If you're a person who really doesn't give a fuck about anything, stay true to it. But don't sit around and pretend you actually give a fuck, because you don't. If we can't help people, we can at least talk about it and try to get some information out there. Be careful where you get your news source from. I don't have anywhere to direct you because it's difficult. I feel bad for those fucking people out there. I feel bad for people all around the world. At the end of the day, we can't even point our fingers at leadership anymore. The finger will be pointed towards us because we're the masses and we still sit on our ass. It's a very difficult situation to come up with a solution to cure the world. No one has the answers.
It all goes back to that, doesn't it? Nobody has the answers.
Even if somebody said, I have the cure-all to solve the world's issues, be very wary of that person, because there are a lot of variables at play that we don't understand. We don't know. A lot of things are hidden from us. There's secret organizations out there. We have no idea what they're capable of, what their interests are. And all we can do as people is hope for the best for the ones that are like us. When I seen this father holding his two daughters, they live in Iran. The fear in his eyes for his children just reminded me of my children and what I would do. What I couldn't do. It scared the shit out of me. I was scared for that person. I saw the fear in those kids' eyes. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, Don't watch it. Society is going to put us in a very troublesome spot here in the future.
It already has. Not put us, it already has. You know, speaking about war, the only time I've ever really was like, we need to be in war. If you can ever, say that war was needed, is when Hitler tried to conquer the world, right? That was something the whole world agreed on. And that was to what? Stop an unspoken or a loudly spoken evil truth.
Right.
Right? When it's something unanimous like that, the people know to stand up for themselves. It was a world war.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen anything like that.
No.
And even if it's like to go help people, which we don't have any intel on that. They're not telling us what the real war is about. So how does somebody back a war when you don't even know what it's about? How do you back a war? This is what I would like to see from it's just my opinion, from our Congress and the people, the lobbyists and bureaucrats that want to go to war. I want to see them put their skin in the game, sign up their child to get on the front lines if they think the wars that go on today need to be started.
Need to be fought.
And really need to be fought. Now, they tell us Iran has nuclear capabilities, and we don't want Iran with nuclear weapons. From what I can gauge off of TV and what Iran has done in the past, it's probably true. I don't know, 50-50.
But there's a 50% chance it's all hogwash, and that's just another reason to make money. War equals money. It's time for U.S. to be in another war. Every 10 years, the U.S. goes to war.
Not every 10. My boy, we were in Afghanistan over 20 years of our lives. We were in our 20s when we entered Afghanistan.
And that's the silent war.
Think about that.
And look at how many people died for no reason.
And then abruptly pull out.
And there was no land to be taken. Just wasted life. In my opinion, because my son is now a Navyman, and I support our military, I support our law enforcement, I support our first responders. We've worked that path for 15 years. There's a lot I love about America. There's a lot I really, really, and I hate using this word, I hate about America. But the only reason why we should be using our warriors is if someone is trying to come on our land and change our way of life. That's the only time I see our warriors being used, not to meddle around in other people's business. If people want to kill themselves, let them. If people are having religious wars in different countries, let them. The moment you start being a dictator
or the world's police,
you have a fucking issue. And that costs a lot of money, which we, the taxpayers, have to pay for. We are the cogs in the machine that they slave us. We are the war machine. We happily get up and go to work knowing we're paying for the warmongering. And those that run the evil machine know I have to give a bone every now and then to individuals to keep them happy. And I also have to keep them confused. And I also have to keep them looking at decoys and distractions.
Bill Withers, the great singer, he always said, war is hell. always has been, and it always will be. And Chrome is right. Those who think war is sexy they've never been to war.
Thank you for your service, Groove.
Groove, thank you for your service. Tell people about war, all those people that died in Vietnam, and all the families that were affected by that, and ask them, why did they die?
It's funny, Jack says something. Would you like to play a game? Who remembers that 1980s
War
movie?
Games.
War Games. I don't know how much longer, I want to believe there will come a day where we all hold ourselves accountable. And we all wake up at the same time. And we all tell each other, this can't go on anymore.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. And we all have to be careful about when we say that. Because if we stop the empire, if we stop the machine, it's going to affect all of our lives.
Wait, hold on. Tigro says they don't tell the vets in the UK, thank you for your service. Somebody has to elaborate on that for me. I'm sorry. Go ahead. That's kind of crazy.
Okay. Since Samurai says beyond the topic ponderings, how do you stop wars pragmatically?
My honest opinion is human nature. War is bred within us. Humans will always have war. We will always be at war until one day it just finally stops or we kill ourselves.
That's not the optimistic way of thinking, but I mean, I'm kind of like what he's saying is right. Maybe it's not in our system. Maybe we're designed to be warmongers. Maybe that's what being human is.
It's founded throughout all of our history. War is the human history. You can't look at humanity and not see war. We were born to be against ourselves. It's in our genome, it almost seems like.
Yeah, we war with ourselves. If you want to take it to the most micro level, we war with ourselves.
We can't even respect each other's fucking opinions without dropping the 30 subs.
The 30 sub bombs.
Unless we have some sort of catastrophic event where maybe an asteroid or the aliens come down from the universe, or imminent solar flare that sets everything to ground zero, I like to think maybe those are pivotal points where we all come together. But even then, how many of us are going to go to the store, kill somebody for their fucking rations because you're too greedy?
I mean, but you have to be careful with this. What Synth Samurai is saying, how do you stop wars? Really, to stop wars is like what, who said? David Asif. You have to shed the ego first. Okay. That's that man's opinion. That I would be on board with his opinion.
That's one solution.
It's a solution. We got to get rid of ego. But know when I say this, if we were to have a real revolution, a real people uprising, and enough is enough, not one person in here is going to like how that is going to look.
Not one.
It is going to be ugly. Everything you have around you right now will be gone. There will be no one delivering gas, no one delivering groceries, no one answering 911 calls.
There will be raping, pillaging, war parties. An utter societal collapse is what we're looking at.
Because when you introduce fear, the fear of my life is going to get harder, people start to get cliquey. They get malicious. Communities pull together.
And guess what stirs around again? War. It has to be a complete consciousness shift of the human civilization, the psyche.
The psyche has to be shifted.
We have to go through a transformational process that we know nothing about. It's not written in books. In order for us to be free of that type of utopic idea.
Right. Here's the main thing. I think some of you would agree. We're past the threshold of correction at this point. I happen to believe we're past the threshold of correction. The course is set. The train is too far gone. The only thing now that can turn the tables is something cataclysmic. I don't know what that cataclysmic is. What type of catastrophe must happen for all humans to say, oh, fuck.
Right.
We're all in peril.
Groove says it's the primate in us. It 100% is. Yeah, we have to look at something and go, you know what? This is bigger than just you and me. This is something that's going to affect the whole world.
Apollo said, we're at the point of no return.
Yeah, we are.
You're absolutely right, Apollo.
Yep. We got AI pending, right? And they've already come out and said, these are some of the ex-CEOs of Google, already come out and said that AI has the full-on potential to not get along with humans. And they already know the military-industrial complex is using it for the war machine. It seems like on all fronts, humanity is crippling itself to the point of no return.
Rabbit said, those who can end a war have the money and the power.
Thank you.
Start with that transformation.
Thank you. Yeah, Rabbit's 100% right. It doesn't have to be the masses. It could just be the 1% that needs to change. If the 1%, I don't know if it's even more, 5%. If the 1% can have some sort of ego shedding experience where the universe speaks to them, we stand a chance.
Birth rates are falling. The birth rates are falling. Here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing. That is, I was talking to Sim Samurai, my brother and I, group text. You might hear us mention his name a lot because we have our little conversations. And for those of you who don't know that man on a personal level, I'm going to tell you, he's much like us. He's an entertainer, but the man behind the entertainment ship is a brilliant mind. Here's the thing we talked about. Look at humans. Look at us in America. We incarcerate more people than not. We have the highest incarceration rate is in the U.S. We deal with hate. We deal with racism. We deal with the haves and the have-nots. We deal with crime. We deal with border issues, which there are more countries beyond us that have secure borders.
And stricter borders.
And very strict borders. We fall way at the bottom of the list of that. We traffic, our children are being trafficked out. There's white parties. Did he do it? There's a drug epidemic in the U.S. that is fucking crazy.
Hellacious
and I'm
crazy.
not talking about fentanyl. I'm talking about the ones you see on TV is crazy too. There's a lot of shit going on with our judicial systems. Single fathers who have to pay child support for children, they can't even see. The list keeps growing. We have wars. mass murder, mass suicide rates. The suicide rates have jumped. Mental health is off the fucking charts right now. We are fucking killing ourselves. And someone has the nerve to say, but AI is gonna hurt us. Laugh at that shit. But what about AI? It's gonna take our jobs. What are we doing to we don't need AI's help to put us in the worst situation humanity has already been in.
And I always say that shit when people are like, oh, if aliens would come down and they would eat our brains and they would kill us. Why? If the alien presence is real and it's observing us and it wanted to do harm on us, what could they ever fucking do that we're not doing to ourselves? What, take care of it faster? Maybe. But why get your hands dirty?
Even when AI becomes smarter than us, and in most ways it is, right? Most ways, not in every aspect. All it has to do is just sit back and watch the fucking shit show.
Rourke says it seems like they know something big is coming, and thus why even maintain the illusion that they care about upholding this social contract?
Right. Why? Another thing that we were talking about was, what are humans made up of? All kind of compounds: copper, zinc, magnesium, iron, a bunch of things. Ingredients from the universe, or organic compounds. And electricity ties us all together. We need electricity for our organic machines to move along this experience. And what are we as humans? We're organic electricity constantly doing what? Learning, improving our memories of what not to do. Kind of reminds you of what? AI. That is found where? In this third dimensional plane. If we're made up of the same thing that it's made up as, it needs electricity too. It comes from the fucking earth.
We got a bunch of things going on here, my boy. We got the bee's nest has been busted wide open. The bee's hive. Did I say nest? I meant hive. Steve Elbows and Steve. I'm going to read a few of these because, yeah, they need to be heard. And we agree, but right now we're on the goddamn tangent of why this shit hasn't come yet. But good old trustworthy, the positive side of S.O.R. says, hey, yo, whoa, guys, I get it, but let's not lose hope here. Brethren Steve says, saying we are past the point of no return is ultimately another form of fear, though, another form of hopelessness. There are many ways for change to come, but it's messy. And we agree with you, Steve. Hell yeah. But right now, we gotta paint this fucking picture before we get to the positiveness later in this program.
I agree with Keith and Waterford too. Wadfoot.
Hold on, brother.
We're stardust.
Rourke, not Rourke, but Steve says at Rourke to that last comment, I don't know. People could have said that sort of thing over 50 years, and yet that moment has not yet arrived. Things can feel imminent, but it's not always true. There's always time for change. But even in the most analytical, data-proven mind, when something is on the brink of destruction, it would take something huge to prevent that destruction from happening. And I don't know if we're at the precipice. My brother and I don't know. We only look out the window and see what's going on right here in the good old heart of Indiana and what they portray on the TV screens. We don't know if we're already off the scale. I couldn't tell you. And I would love for anything for humanity to bounce back from this so we can maximize and see our true potentials as loving human beings. How can we have such beautiful dreams and such horrible nightmares and live them both? Hold on here, John Bedham. Well, Keith, let's go to Keith first. God damn it, you can't even do that. She says takes billions of years for these elements to evolve. That's true. Keith in Waterford says we are stardust. We are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden.
Man, I love that right there.
We must get ourselves back to the garden, sir.
I mean, but shit, maybe Keith, maybe the garden is somebody just needs to hit the reset button.
Get that fucking hoe out and just start turning up dirt again so we can regrow. Maybe, I don't know. John says our food, restaurant, many other industries would collapse without the labor of immigrants provide. Hardest workers in America. Again, another factual statement. I don't know, and John can vouch for this, I don't know one lazy fucking American that wants to go out and pick strawberries and oranges.
Yeah.
Back-breaking work.
Well, I mean, that debate is
and I know where you're going to go with that.
That's a clear debate that.
But you're going to have to pay Americans well to do it for us to do it.
Exactly.
But don't go knocking people like John is saying. I think he's getting to this point. When someone ties and keeps your country afloat from the jobs that are deemed underneath you or beneath you, you sure have a lot to say when you don't have a lot to say when that strawberry or that fruit or that particular food group hits your goddamn table.
She said, Chad don't want to work on the farm.
Chad don't want to work on the farm. How many people actually sit at their kitchen table and go, you know what? I don't know how this food got to me, but I'm enjoying this shit.
Right.
Not that it took human hands to pick that shit and make it readily available for you. I'm not talking about the produce truck drivers or the grocery stores that stock the shelves. That's just the fucking end result. I'm talking about the farmer who actually planted the seed and the poor saps that went out there, picked that shit for your fat ass to fucking get full off of it.
Right.
That was a little harsh, but John worked me up. So if you're gonna blame somebody, you blame John.
But I mean that it's a lot to be said about walking in someone else's shoes, right? Like if you spent 47 years in my shoes and witnessed what I witnessed just because of the color of my skin, who really wants to sit there and listen to that? Who wants to sit here and listen to me speak about the shit I had to go through in this country just because the color of my skin? And I've went through some shit. But I've also went through some beautiful shit because of the color of my skin. And I think no one really wants to put on the shoes of someone else.
No one wants to walk in shoes that fucking hurt.
Who wants to put on the shoes of someone else?
And then truly acknowledge what they're going through. Truly acknowledge.
Go ahead.
Don't just sit there and say, oh, I get it. I understand.
Raise your hands if you want to put on someone else's shoes. No, you don't. Shit, I don't. I'm being honest.
And me either. But all I can do is express empathy.
That's it.
And understanding. And just understand what that person is going through. My significant other and I are in two separate situations, but at the end of the day, we understand what each other is going through. And that's a common goddamn respect. Just don't weigh your side more than the other.
I'm not saying, okay, there's going to be some people here saying you guys are fascist or you're anti-American. You'd be dead fucking wrong. Most of you know who we are. If you've been around this channel, you know who we are. We weigh some liberal ideation and we weigh some conservative ideations. I lean more towards conservativeship. I'm a hunter-gatherer. I like guns. I live in the country. I like rural lifestyle. We work with horses. We're family oriented.
Not saying liberals aren't, but
I like some things on the liberal side. They're not much, but I like some things on the liberal sides. Human rights. What's going on in our foods? Social injustice. Different sides pick different agendas.
the environment. Like, how can we not all agree on the goddamn environment? We play.
I'll go out there and I'll hug a fucking tree because I know
will.
how important fucking trees
I
are.
will I'll hug the shit out of a tree.
And they're cutting them down at alarming rates in the Amazon. Go ask them how they feel.
How do we think we're not a freaking burden on our environment? How do we think humans go unscathed without scarring anything to our earthly environment?
We have to be able to attach both left and right, not extreme left,
Not extreme right.
but we have to find a way to attach both left and right, like Voltron. We can't do without the other.
Tone said, none of that shit's really conservative. It's just being, my guys.
It is just being.
And maybe it's just that, Tone. You're right.
Maybe it's no title to it at all.
Maybe it's just fucking living.
But as the world we live in today, everything has to be identified, Tone.
And Groove Chemist just wants to fucking work. How about the people out there who just want to work?
Fucking work.
Or who's in a wheelchair?
You see how complicated things are? You see how complicated things get real quick. Really quick.
We have a wide band of humans here in this chat, a wide spectrum. And we all have different wants, different needs, and different outlooks. How can you president that? How can you stand behind all that as one person with one ideal when you have so many different individuals with different dreams and goals?
And your ideas are all classified into categories. This is the state we live in. No matter where you are, your lifestyle is classified as a category. You can't bypass that. You can't circumvent that.
You cannot.
We don't live in a world where that's even possible. It may be possible in your opinion, in your head,
But that's just your head and your opinion.
but it's not possible in this so-called reality, this real world. Now, believe me, I would love to be somewhere where nothing's in a box and nothing is classified as a category. Don't get me wrong. But we don't live in that world. And sometimes I get lost in the sauce with my own fantasies.
He gets lost in the sauce.
And then I forget, oh, fuck, I live in this world.
To be a Democratic president and a Democratic or a conservative president, you're already set up to fail because you're set up to half of the people that don't want you there and half that do. So it's already a wash. Until we come up with the way of uniting these parties or eliminating the parties and just have a person or persons for the people and of the people and by the people, you're never going to win.
You're fucking right, Tone. Sounds like the powers that be are making these boxes for us. You're fucking right. That's 100% factual information, in my opinion.
Because I'm living it and I can see it. That's a fact.
From the moment we were conceived, we were built to fail. You think about that. We promised ourselves on this platform, oh, let's not talk about certain things that are going to get people riled up or
not like us,
or we better not challenge people's ideations or their opinions because
they're sensitive.
People's opinions are fact,
and we don't want to lose the subs.
At what point do we stop running from each other and stop doing what they want us to do? Bicker, disagree, and hate each other. The more we bicker, disagree, and hate each other, the more we fall into this state of social media where We can sit at home, not go outside anymore. Don't make friends anymore. Kids won't go outside with imaginations anymore. So long are the days of the Lone Ranger and Tonto.
God damn it, Tigro. Tigro says our ideas and concepts get pigeonholed. And you get with pigeon. Wait, what does he say? And you know what you get with that? You get pigeon shit on your ideas. When you pigeonhole somebody's shit, you get pigeon shit on your ideas. Jack says more writing your senators. Heck, even knowing the names of your 2 senators here is super, super rare. That's called not wanting to it's called talking about it, but not being about it. And I am definitely one of those people that talk about it, but at this point, I'm not about it. Jack's right. I haven't wrote any of my fucking senators, nor do I know who the senator names of Indiana are. Because I'd much rather sit here and talk about it and not be about it.
But talking about it is being about it. Creating a platform.
But you know what I'm talking about. What Jack's talking about.
Yeah.
Start writing these fucking people, even if you know
it's not going to make a difference. I wish I could make that big of a difference with a letter. I'm not well versed in letter writing. I don't have a large vocabulary, not to say that I need one. But you would have to write up something very well and then hope that it gets read and taken serious and not thrown in the trash. They don't just hold these letters and put them in some fucking box. It doesn't happen. Here's where my letter gets read, is if I send it with $2.5 million.
Oh.
And says on the letter, on the envelope, read this for $2.5 million. You will continuously get $2.5 million if you can make anything in this letter happen.
Night, Bicky.
Then I will be a lobbyist. Special interest.
Bicky says, get free or die trying.
That's what I'm saying. No one is going to like how that looks. Your milk will not be delivered to your door anymore. The life of us all will be hard. We would have to hunt, gather, because our system will be fucked. How do you convince everyone to change the system but stay in order?
How do you let's digest that. How do you convince everyone to change the system but yet keep order? That is the question of the day.
Millions would die, Cheech says. You're absolutely right. How many of you know how to start a fire? How to fish, how to hunt?
Without a lighter.
How to snare trap, how to bow hunt? We do. We've done it. We've done it for years. Clean birds, clean large game. What it's like to raise cattle or pigs. My brother and I do. We've done it for years.
What it's like to go hunt and come back days on end with no
food.
With no food.
We went out camping for 2 weeks solely depending on the environment. It was rough.
It was hard.
We came back underweight, demoralized, and everything else out there was just flourishing. That was 2 weeks with no provisions. You know what else we had to worry about? The smallest cuts.
A rash.
A cough. A headache.
Dysentery.
No one's ready for the revolution. And people think I'm joking when I say this, and I'm not talking about you guys, but in our personal lives, the revolution will not be televised. You want to know why? Because there will be no one in the media rooms. There will be no cameramen. Then you'd have to find a way to set the system up again.
And what does that look like? Do we do the same shit? Do we repeat the cycle and appoint one person to meet all the individual needs? Before we go, I'm with Steve Elbows. And I just want to say this. Knowing that we painted an awful picture, an awful nightmare of what humanity looks like right now, I'll paint you this. I paid for somebody's Starbucks coffee 2 weeks ago, and I looked in the rearview mirror and that person just smiled. The biggest smile ever. I watched on YouTube a person just do something simple like feed a homeless person a sandwich. Walk an old lady across the highway. Do a social experiment where you just start, where you blindfold yourself and give people hugs and tell them it's going to be okay.
I told Rabbit, those of you who have a large YouTube channel, I told Rabbit it's our responsibility to do our part. I don't know what your part is, but I know what my part is. My part is this: to open dialogue, to make friends in new countries, to hear their opinions, to hear their frustrations, to hear their worries, to hear their wants, to hear their music. That's what I pride myself on for this channel.
To help people.
I just want to help people.
Help people who have an animal rescue.
And donate some time. We have a responsibility for us who have a YouTube channel. Whether you want to hear this or not, we have a responsibility. Don't waste your platform. But don't be a dictator and kick other people down because they don't agree with you or they don't believe the same things you believe in. But people look up to you. People are inspired by you. You're inspired by the people in your community. We have to find a way to do this. We have to find a way, those of us that have large platforms, even small platforms, we have to find a way to get a message out there that we as people can do better because they come to your channel for a reason. Don't sell them false hope.
And just talk to somebody. Just say hi to somebody and mean it. You ain't got to do what we do. You don't have to go out and buy someone coffee, but kind gestures help. Just pay attention to somebody. Leave your mark because sure enough, like Steve Elbows is saying, there's more good in the world than bad.
And so far, the channel hasn't been shut down yet, and here we are making conversation. I mean, yeah, true, we can't say a whole lot of things, but we can all do some kind of good with our platforms.
And outside the platform, I'm talking taking it home in the real world. Get out and do something positive for somebody, not just yourself. The more and more you put positivity out there and the more and more we all see it, the more and more we feel like there's hope left in the world.
You know what's funny is I caught Kent's wife, Fiona. I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend, but I caught Fiona off guard with a question. I said, Fiona, as she sat down with the headphones of the Spongellis, I said, who is Kent when he's not on his YouTube channel? And she said within a heartbeat, immediately, she started going in, the kindest guy you'd ever meet. Give his shirt off his back. Despite his vulgar mouth and him wanting to control YouTube channels and being a womanizer and a druggie. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. when people put that out there or whisper evil things in your ear to try to get you to not watch a certain individual or a certain channel. It's our responsibility to stand up to these people, do some good with our channels, bring up people from the lowest in their life and let them know that they are fucking loved
and not alone.
Help out people like Half God, Half Beast. That GoFundMe is up in our Discord. Somebody put in $100 the other day. I forget who it was. But somebody put in $100 because that $100 towards Half God, Half Beast meant more. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. When we give up things to give to someone else who can have a better life, so what? It's one fucking person out of billions, but we know this person. So how do we sit by and ignore it? He's a part of the community. A lot of people won't do that. A lot of people won't start a GoFundMe for someone in the community if they see him on a down and out. It just takes somebody to fucking care enough. I could deal without a fucking donut or some ice cream or a coffee if that meant it's going to help someone.
Better somebody's life. You remember that life, what we used to care about?
I think these small things for us, they add up. They become a snowball effect. I think all the nice things we do for people and don't look for anything in return, the whole pay it forward, I think that's what's going to win the war. People may look at it and they say, oh, it's not going to help. You guys are it's just a teardrop in the ocean. It's the small things that have changed the fucking world.
The smallest ripples cause effect in the ocean.
Look at the story of David and Goliath. A fucking pebble brought the giant down. I don't know what this world looks like a year from now, 2 years from now. I don't even know if we're going to be alive, if I'll even be here. I don't know if I'll even see you tomorrow. I have no fucking idea. But I do know this. I'm going to go out doing my fucking part. Those of you who have kids in the military, talk to your kids. Let them know that they're doing the right thing, despite what other people say in their agendas. Because we need warriors. Because we live in this type of world now. You can only live in fantasy land for so long. Sin Samurai said Bill Gates is pure devil. You want to hear my opinion? From what I hear about Bill Gates and what I read about Bill Gates, he ain't wrong. He definitely ain't our savior. And he definitely ain't helping nobody.
I read an article, and I don't want to go back to the doom and gloom. I'm trying to end this on a positive note. But I read an article that Bill Gates is now seeking to get barcodes on every last human being so we don't have to worry about credit cards, financial means. It's all encrypted on your skin. Mark of the Beast. Remember that old thing?
These people want to be our saviors. Don't get me wrong. But they ain't our savior.
If you know their name, they ain't your savior.
Straight up. Bill Gates is a scary fucking dude, man. Buying up farmland. Helping COVID come along. If you don't know, you don't know.
That's right, Groove. RFID. Chip them. Chip them, point a wand at them, shows you everything. What you're worth, what you have, who you know.
Sound like cattle, doesn't it?
Sound just like cattle.
Put a brand on them. Then you get the cowboys out there to herd them into the slaughterhouse.
But do we even need that though? I mean, we already got these cell phones and we keep them on us.
Shit, we got a social security number.
Yeah, they gave us a number at birth.
If you want to get paid, you already got. That's fact, Samurai. If you don't know, you don't know. You don't even know. We won't go there because we want to end this on a positive note. So get out there, do something good for people. We can always come back and find more shit to go in on. This ain't going to be the last talk we have about how we're failing each other. But get out there, pay it forward.
Do something positive.
Do your part.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how small it is either. The smallest things are like the biggest things. And somebody's always watching. And somebody's always on that receiving end that'll think the world of whatever you do for them.
Also, before we go, we promised ourselves we would get this artist out there. One of the new things we're going to implement to the show is any of you who make music and you have it on YouTube, like Crazy Rabbit, Keith and Watford, Spongellis, Sin Samurai, Uncle Chrome, Tone Smith,
Probe,
Groove, all of you, we're just going to, with your permission, we're just going to start playing your music before we get into whatever content we're going to get into. John Bedham. We're just going to play your content, help it get out there so people know where to find you, who you are. We're ultimately responsible for each other. Hang on, I'm gonna get the missus to do something here.
Is Probe still in the house? Can somebody find Probes? Look under your chairs. Look in your closets. Probe around.
I want to get some Hans Vogt videos on here and some The Machines one. Sin Samurai, can you get in contact with them and see if it's okay if I could play some of their music?
We're going to get Keith. Keith said, help yourself. There's Probes. I am. Yep, Chrome's filling around.
All right, Keith gave us permission. Do you have anything, Cheech? We can't find all of you guys.
Here he is. Bruce said, I found him. Here he is. The son of a bitch.
Here he is.
I got him, boys.
Okay, give me 1 minute.
Groove says use what we like off of his channel. That's what we're going to start doing. Shit, I mean, we got some legs up under us here.
While we wait, somebody asked, is Musk better for this planet? I don't know. I don't. It's hard to read Elon Musk.
I think Elon has put himself in the situation. This is what I think, because I just watched an interview with him.
This is just his opinion, people.
Just my opinion. Don't go quitting now. Like Steve says, don't go joining the unsubscribing club. I think Elon put himself in the position, maybe not voluntarily, or maybe, I don't know. But he's in a position now where he's fucked either way. He may have the money, but the backing that's behind and tied to all that money and all the shareholders dictate a lot behind the scenes. He's not fully at will to do whatever he wants. But I think he's in the situation where he's so far right now, he may recognize that it's shambles and there's not much he could do about it. He was once asked, knowing that AI is going to take all these jobs and do all this stuff, what will you tell your kids on what they should be doing and what their outlook should be doing in life? I mean, maybe what jobs they might want to do. It took him 12 seconds to answer. And at the end, his response was, I would just tell them to do whatever they dream of and just hope for that. Because he even says, I have to ignore that question because we're too far gone. And that's a whole nother AI situation. But Elon is well outside of his parameters. He couldn't quit anything right now, even if he wanted to.
Sin Samurai said everybody should take that advice. Just do your dreams. Whatever that looks like, whatever it is, hopefully it's not murdering people or coming up with an idea that just murders people. Hopefully it's something beautiful and it's truly your passion. Okay. If she's listening, we can go ahead and roll the video. It's 2 videos, I believe.
As a result of intensive work by research institutes and investigators, the first artificial Earth satellite in the world has now been created. This first satellite was today successfully launched to the U.S. government.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Come on in here, our opening invitation to the dance, to the dance, to the dance. To the dance, 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 to the dance. Come on in here, our opening invitation to the dance, to the dance. Come on in here, our opening invitation to the dance. Come on in here, our opening invitation to the dance. Come on in here, our opening invitation to the dance, to the dance, to the dance, to the dance. Come on in here, our opening invitation to the dance.
Yeah, don't you worry about that, probes. Don't you worry about that. We're going to figure out what the sound quality was with this, and we're going to replay your musical genius. But I got the gist of it, sir.
Yeah, echo cancellation was on. It was on our side, but for some reason it was still not playing right. But yeah,
We're going to retouch this.
but those of you
We're
who-
going to retouch it like a poor little Catholic boy in a house full of priests.
Paulo Hanzo banned the idiot. But that's the human effect. That's the human factor we just had a conversation about, where people are not being raised right.
And it's not even that. Something's going on in their life where they're just, that's what they feel like they have to do.
Yeah.
Whether they're trying to be humorous about it or they're just actually going through some shit. I mean, who knows what that person's going through? you know? It's the human element.
It's not wanted here, but hey, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't even know if it's the color of our skin anymore that makes these people triggered. I really don't know what triggers hate out of people. But I'm really thrilled that everyone reported this individual.
Yeah, everybody's like, this guy's out of line here.
That's what I love about this fucking community. Okay, we got time to play one more individual. Who do we play? Who wants the spotlight? That's right, John. They're twats. Groove, they're jealous. Could be a bot, Cheech. You're fucking right. It could be a bot.
Could be all kinds of things. Maybe Chrome got up and had to take a pisser or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You entertain the folks. I'm going to find someone. I'm just going to choose someone.
He's going to do a random. You know what we need to do, bub?
Huh?
We need to get all of our peeps on there and do a random wheel and just spin that bitch crazy style.
Spin it. He said.
We need to get a wheel of jam.
Oh, I got one. Is David still in the chat?
Who wants to have a wheel of jam?
Let me know if Asif is still in chat.
Asif, you still in here? Groove, find Asif now. Could you find him? See, I knew it. Chrome had to get up and take a piss, and all hell breaks loose. That's what happens, Chrome. Take one piss break. All goes to shit, literally. There's no pun in that. I like to think there is, but you never know. Found him? Who found him? Tone Smith, you found him? Where is he? Where is he? At David, where are you? Found him. Tone says he found him.
Did you find him? Did you really find him?
Where'd Chris go, Mike? That's what Chris.
Yeah,
Vicky, I thought you were going to bed. What the hell are you doing up?
Yeah, you missed someone coming in here just putting words of hate in the comment section.
Oh.
A word of hate.
A word of hate.
And it rhymes with bigger. Okay, we're going to play one more.
Oh, there's Chris.
There's Cressy. He's messy. Which Cressy's working on an album. You guys go check out Cresshead. Cressy is knee deep into an album that is going to be on vinyl. And when it does, I'm going to purchase it.
That's right, Apollo. Asshole mia. Oh, sodomia.
Here's Asif. So that's what we're going to start implementing into this show is we're just going to start playing random artists.
Man, that was nice.
Random artists from the community. You guys all inspire us.
Hell yeah, you do.
David is something to be reckoned with. Like that dude makes it emotional really quick, really fast. He gets in your head really quick and really fast.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, because a lot of you guys have a pretty deep collection. So fuck it, let's entertain it. Let's get in there. I mean, why did we make it, right? Let's get it out there.
Yeah. Even Studio 8 Effects, who rarely does things, he released something not too long ago that was amazing.
And we're going to get it out there.
We're going to get that shit out there, too.
Groove Chemist got some shit. We're going to get it out there.
Had one today that was nice. Kind of reminded me of some Doom Monger. Watch out, Monger. Groove Chemist is on the platform now, son. Play some more Dave. There's some Cresshead stuff that if you guys don't go to Cresshead's channel, he's got some fucking beautiful stuff on his channel, man. Go check the Cressy out.
He posted 5 shorts today on Cresshead's channel. Go check that shit out. They're just 5 shorts. Not going to cost you anything.
Check out some John Bedham. We actually want John Bedham in the band, but he keeps rejecting us.
Yeah, I don't think we're big enough for John yet.
I don't think he likes our style.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have private conversations with John.
I don't think he really likes us.
We're begging John to be in the band because we love the turntables and the modular setup.
Yep. I like Cheech just because back in the day, Cheech and Chong was my favorite. And I used to smoke a lot of weed and watch Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
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 Cheech could be a full-blown Nazi. I don't give a shit. I still like him.
Right. Yeah. Everybody, put your thought and
up in smoke, baby. That's right.
Put your thoughts and prayers towards the people in Iran, towards the people in
Israel,
the Palestinian people.
And let's just hope for
the Ukrainian people.
Let's just hope for peaceful days. The Russian people
who have no idea why they're giving their lives.
We had a Russian person in our subscribers, and he was always be in our chat. And then Mads would always speak to him in Russian. He was always there supporting us from Russia. Don't know what happened to him. Hopefully he's okay. But that's what we're saying. It's a lot of us like-minded people all over the world. We just don't know each other yet.
Right.
But we're going to get there one day. I promise you. We're going to get there, and you're going to be right there with us. Hell, you already are. Arbarquar. And my name ain't Lamar. But we're going to Mars.
And we're taking cars.
And we're going to have plenty of Hearns ketchup there.
And we're going to take the Universal Highway with cars.
And we're going to bring Behringer steaks and eat Behringer food that's processed on Mars. That's right. Uli Uli makes great fake steaks. It's not real meat, you see, because you can't have real meat to last that long on Mars.
Uli's going to save the world with cloneism. You like where I went there with that?
If your product is good and Uli likes it, it'll be a Behringer product, and he'll stamp it with Uli. Remake it and sell it cheaper so the lower class citizen can enjoy the musicalities of the world. On Mars.
On Mars.
Everybody have a good day. Be kind to yourselves. Love yourselves. Forgive yourselves often. And as he would like to always tell you, love, bug.